Hey Swines, how's it going? This will be my guide on how to beat Lancelot in Granbluefantasy versus Rising. He's a tricky mix-up character with really good rushdown, but after this guide you'll have a much better idea on how to counter him. I'll have timestamps linked below, so if there's anything you specifically want to look at, just go ahead and take a peek at that. With that being said, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, I'd appreciate it, as these videos do take a little bit longer to make. Also, the algorithm will be able to push it out to more people, which is ultimately what I want. I plan to make more guides like this in the future. I have a few out already, so I'll link my playlist above, but just so you don't miss future content, just make sure you subscribe. But yeah, thanks Swines, take care. Alright, so the first piece of advice I'm going to offer is do not try and chase this character. He has some of the best neutral in the entire game. He's incredibly hypermobile, he is very, very fast, probably one of the fastest characters in the game. I think 2B might be the fastest now, but he is definitely up there. He's got unique mechanics when he's by the wall for getting out of trouble. So you can dive off the wall, and he can also dive down. So he's got two different trajectories he can get around. His jump is incredibly quick, and he goes much higher than most characters. If you're trying to get him with most characters in the game, you'll have a really hard time. If you're playing characters like Lancelot versus Lancelot, you'll probably have an easier time of catching him. But if you're playing like Lariet or like Vossaraga, you'll have a much harder time. So you kind of want to let him kind of come to you. He also has a really good way of doing that. He has this projectile here, which is really good. It doesn't go full screen. He has one that does, which is his medium version. Only this version's just got more hits, stun, blocks done. So what you kind of really want to do is be very patient against him. Try let him come to you. Play a very safe game. I'd say try keep to the ground as well. Then that way, like, you're not having to clash with him in the air. Because if he is in the air, he can go back to the ground very quickly, and then your prime anti-air target, for example. This does recover fairly fast. If he does it in your face, you are obviously, he's minus 29, so you are at advantage. But still, like, if you're doing anything else at the time, he's going to have a much easier time of getting on you. You don't want to whiff anything slow. You don't want to be throwing out any like slow projectiles or whiffing any incredibly high buttons, because he can get across that and round that much easier. Yes, he has this unique dash mechanic, which is his own personal mechanic, which is unique to him. He can obviously do different kind of actions out of it. So yeah, you have to respect that he kind of controls the pace of neutral. So you gotta go quite slow with it. So when you finally lock him down, he is one of the few characters in the game who doesn't have a meterless reversal. He has to rely on meter to get out of invincible situations. He does have a 5-frame jab, so he is privileged in that sense. So he's not like one of the slower jab characters. But when he's at 50 meter, you really want to be looking out for the DP. The DP is interesting. I'll show you now. It's a two-part move. So he does that, and then it finishes in an overhead, so you will still get caught by it. And because it is a ultimate skill, it does hard knockdown. So you need to be aware of that. Like, you want to safe jump and then finish by blocking up, otherwise you do end up in the hard knockdown state. So you want to do it like this, and get your combo. So yeah, just be aware, when he has 50 meter, you need to be looking out for that specifically. But when he doesn't have it, pressuring him is much easier, so you should literally be throwing him more and just trying to mix him up as much as you can. Stagger game's good, because he'll have a much harder time. He'll have to rely on Brave Counter much more than other characters. So yeah, make sure you're aware of his meter, just keep an eye on it. Alright, so another thing you want to be doing against him is prioritizing using the guard button over standard back to block. That's because, like, most of his stuff will cross you up, so then he'll have an easier time opening you up and stuff like that. So you really want to just be making sure you're using the guard button. He has stuff like this with his projectile. He goes behind, and then obviously now if you're not blocking the right way, you're going to get blown up. He's also got this air move he can kind of do. And then in tandem with his unique mechanic where he comes down to the ground, he can mix up where he lands, and different versions will put him on different sides. So it's imperative you get used to using the guard button. It will literally cut the mix in half. So what turns from a side to side mix will then turn into like a high-low mix, if you like. So then you can do stuff like this. You can go low and then do stuff like that. So using the guard button will basically make blocking him much easier. So you should prioritize learning how to do that. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to go over is his unique mechanic. This is how he gets around the screen, mostly grounded. He does have the air version as well, but So he has this move, which is a dash. It goes pretty far. If he doesn't do anything, he's minus 36. But they usually do stuff like this. They go back. He's 16 frames. This is his safest ender. He can then cross you up. And he can also take to the air. Which then he can then go from the air, then back to the ground with that move. And then he also has this sweep, which he can go into the dash back and then into the sweep. But once he's done the sweep, he actually can't do anything else. It's completely locked down. That's the same for like all of it. Like if he goes back here, he's stuck in this one. If he goes up and does the air, he can only do the air version, obviously. And if he crosses you up, he is stuck in the cross-up version as well. So he's minus 18 here, so he can be punished. This is very hard to punish, so I wouldn't even bother trying. The only thing I'd look out for if he goes back is the sweep. And since it is minus 9 from this distance, you can punish it quite easily with long-reaching normal. Obviously, if he does it in your face, he's minus 15, so you can get a disgusting punish on him for that. Obviously, this is anti-airable, and if he comes through, then you're still bust. You just have to obviously get used to whatever the Lancelot player is doing. I'll run through a little training tutorial I have now with the training mode to explain it. But understanding how he kind of like moves around the screen is important. These moves aren't too hard to read once you've labbed against them a bit, so I'll show you that now. Quickly though, I want to show you when he's in the air and he has this dive. It only crosses you up if it's like directly on top of you. It's quite hard to see in the moment, so don't worry about it too much. Just obviously worry about the guard button, but he can't cross you up from back here. So if he's diving from here, he won't be crossing you up, so just bear that in mind. The point I wanted to kind of make with the U move, obviously as I was saying, like in the mid screen, it like crosses you up. In the corner, you don't have to worry about this. In the corner, there's no way he can cross you up. Won't go behind you. So you don't have to worry about it too much. He can do stuff like this. He can ping off the wall and then like try and mix up his timing. So something to be aware of. So don't go crazy about the anti-airs so wild, but yeah, in terms of cross-ups, he isn't going to be able to do it to you. And that's the same with the Gran version. So in the corner, you don't have to worry about the guard button too much. I'd still use it just for principle, but yeah, you want to kind of not worry too much about the cross-up. That's it. Alright, so basically what you're going to want to do to practice against this is, like other guides I've put out, you want to go into the dummy recording, and you basically want him to set him to do, you can do 6 or 5 different options of the different options he may try, and then you just want to let him beat you up, and then you try react to it. So then you hit random, playback, and then enable, so you don't have to keep pressing the button, and then you just got to try react to it. So you've done the low there, the punish is there, got the thing. So you're doing now, that's an anti-air. The cross-up I find to be one of the harder ones to deal with because it's so bloody quick. So you get him there, but you get used to it over time, I imagine, if you keep doing it. He's on the low, get the punish. Yeah, and then, yeah, see, I'm very bad at doing that one now. But he is still minus 18 in that situation. So if you stuck out a button, you're gonna win still. So that's one thing to look at. And that's it. When he does the air move, it's literally the same kind of timing, whether he's going to do the dive or an attack. You kind of just want to like delay it a little bit. Don't like stick out an anti-air straight away, because you'll get counter hit like that. I missed that time. But yeah, that's kind of how you deal with the move. This is if they're doing it in the neutral. If he's doing it in your face, there's a really handy way to deal with it, which I'll show you now. But yeah, that's all you need to do to react to his unique mechanic on neutral when he's trying to do it in your face. Just go into practice mode and just keep training against it, and eventually you'll get it. This was actually me for half an hour, and half an hour the only one I'm struggling with is the cross up. So, and like I said, he's minus 18, so if he's stuck out a button, and even if you're a little bit late, he can block, but he probably won't be trying to block, let's be honest, so you'll counter hit him for that. Alright, so what to do if he does it in your face? It's actually kind of easy to deal with, I'm not going to lie. Basically, what you need to understand is when he does the unique move, he has to commit to the dash first. He can't go into back, for example. He can't start back. He has to go forward then back, or forward then up, or forward then crossover. Like he can't do or forward and sweep, for example. Like, he has to commit to one of the moves. He has to commit to this move before he can do it. So knowing that, there's a brief window where you can do something. And the best option is to throw. So if he's doing your face, you can throw it. You get no escape. Now, if he does the cross up, he gets thrown. And if he tries to go back, he gets thrown. Now, the only one that this Lancelot player can do to be safe is the overhead or the teleport up. However, if I'm quick enough, you have to be quick still. It's not saying. So you'll whiff the throw, but the recovery, you recover in time. So this just makes the throw like a really good option. Like, you don't actually have to worry about it too much. Like, yeah, okay, you whiff. Oh yeah, he can continue his pressure, but you can't get punished for trying. So if he's doing this in your face, you really need to be taking advantage of the fact. Yeah, that's literally it. That's what you do if he does it in your face. Right, so now we're going to go over Turbulence. Turbulence is like a teleport to the sky, but it also has an invincible follow-up if they hold it. The ultimate version is obviously his invincible reversal, but when he does the invincible version, he can't control whether he's going to come down with the invincible overhead or just like teleport up. It is literally just a full commitment. So if you block that, don't worry about it too much. You have dealt with the move at that point, but the other ones are a little bit harder to deal with, and you'll be seeing them more on like pressure more than anything, because he can like mix up where he's coming. It's hard to tell which one he does because they all do. They have different like kind of properties. Like the light version, for example, if he goes up and then he comes down with a unique mechanic, he'll land on the left side. But if he does the medium version, and then he'll land on the cross-up side. So it is hard to tell. That's why you really need to use the guard button, because obviously this move becomes like a high-low mix-up, and a left-right mix-up, if you don't know which side he's going to end up on. So if you hold the guard button, you only have to worry about it being an overhead or a low at this point, and then it makes the move much easier to deal with. So you should obviously, like saying, be prioritizing the guard button. Now the enhanced version is a little bit easier to deal with. Obviously you see it glow, so that's one thing. It does recover much faster in the air, but if he crosses you up with the move, he is only ever going to end up on the other side. It doesn't matter which where he does it. He'll just end up on the right side or the left side, depending on which side he started on. So he'll always end up on the opposite side. So if you see that, just assume he's always going to end up on the left. So it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, I'll get into how to defend against it. It's not too bad to defend against once you lab it a bit. I'll show you that now. Okay, so the way we deal with this is fairly simple. It's just like when we were dealing with the unique move. You literally just have to set up 3 training recordings, one for a medium cross-up, one for a light cross-up, and then one for the drop, the invincible drop. I'm using Gran to show because his invincible reversal was much better than Lancelot's in this situation. But you don't always have to use an invincible reversal, but I'll show the invincible version first. The timing is a little bit strict, but you can get used to it if you keep practicing. You kind of want to wait. I missed that time. You want to wait, but like not wait too long, and not do your super. That's a misinput from me. Yeah, see, it's a little bit tricky. You want to like delay it, but like not too much, like, because if he's doing the medium version, he'll cross you up. But like if he does the light version, you'll catch him most times. But the reason you're delaying it, he hasn't done it yet, but the reason you're delaying it is because if he does the invincible drop, you'll catch the when the invincibility wears off. There you go. So yeah, that's the idea. You just want to... Oh, he's coming back at me. Yeah, so that's literally how you kind of deal with it with an invincible reversal. You just got to delay it to the point, but not... It's like a nice sweet spot. Like, you want to delay it, but not too much. Because if you delay it too much, he can go past you. If you go too quick, you'll get caught up by the invincible move. That was perfect that time. But yeah, that's literally how you do it with the invincible move. But if you want to block against it normally without taking a risk, you can as well. So you need to use the guard button in this situation. You want to block high because you don't want to get clipped by the overhead. If he goes like that onto your left side, you need to just simply mash when he's on his way down. So block below. He comes up. There you go. You get your punish. It's literally this simple. You just have to wait and see what he does. So he's done that, you get the punish. So you don't have to fully commit to anything. So as long as you know, oh, he has like 2 options here. I was too quick there. If he has 3 options, sorry, you can go left, you can go right, or you can drop down on my head. Now he can literally do nothing, and he can literally come down on your head and then hit you with an overhead instead. But that's much slower, so you can kind of react to that a little bit easier. But like this stuff's a little bit faster, so it's like, this is kind of how you deal with it. Yeah, this is it. G is just all about being patient when he's using it on the offense and stuff like that. But that's it. Yeah, just obviously don't be too quick on your mash, otherwise you'll get clipped up. Just wait for him to touch the ground. If you keep practicing, you'll get used to it. If he does the overhead, it's kind of like a slam dunk, to be honest. Yeah, that's how you beat Turbulence. Fairly easy once you know what you're doing. Alright, so the next move I'm going to go over is Blade Impulse. It's this one where he charges across the screen. Obviously he has different variants. This is the light version, the medium version probably goes the furthest, and then the enhanced version, which is the quickest. His ultimate version can cross you up. This version is his safest version. All of these are punishable in your face, except for medium, because medium, if you did it in your face, he ends up over here. It's -6, so it's harder to deal with and hit. He can't even hit you from that distance. So, but if he's doing the light version, he's -5, so you can get a punish on that. And if he does the ultimate version, enhanced version, he's -8 or 7 here. So you can get a much better punish. Obviously, if he does it from different distances, he can be more advantageous than he already is. So he's -2 here, so he's safe. So it's just when he's in your face, but he's not likely to use this in your face anyway. So don't worry about that too much. Gran is very good at dealing with these moves, and obviously other characters. I'm just going to use Gran because I know he's going to showcase it well. Basically, you don't want to try contest these moves with like standing buttons, as you're likely to get hit, because the move has like better priority. But you want to use like low profile moves, like Grand Sweep is incredibly useful for this situation. So, and that applies for the light, medium, and heavy version. So if you're seeing a Lancelot player who's using this to get around the screen much, even on like delayed reaction, it's very easy to deal with. So that is how you deal with Blade Impulse, the standard version. Now to deal with the ultimate version, it's a little bit different, and I'll show you that now. So if he's doing the ultimate version, you literally want to use an invincible move, because you can't punish it because it's -4. So if he does it, he'll end up on the other side. He's -4, and if he hits you, he gets a full combo. So you need to wait for the screen to black out. You can hit it with projectiles if you know he's coming, but that's like a preemptive thing. But if you're too late, you then need to rely on your invincible moves like that, and it's not too hard to time. That's me delaying it, so it doesn't have to be that one. It can be a super as well, and he's not invincible throughout the entire thing, so you don't want to like allow him to get on you for free, because this move's incredibly good. So yeah, that's how you really deal with Blade Impulse. It literally is just as simple as low profile the light, medium, heavy versions, and then when he comes to this version, either hit it with a projectile or invincible moves, like, and that you'll be alright. It really isn't as it shouldn't be as free for him to move in on it as possible. And of course, if he's doing it in your face, then you can punish him for doing that too. Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is Southern Cross. That's his Rekka style move. It's this one here. There are 4 different versions, obviously, like all the others: light, medium, heavy version, and ultimate. The light, medium, and heavy versions are all safe, except for the final version. They're all -16. So if you see this big cross thing he does, do not let him get away with it. He's incredibly punishable, and he can't do anything. However, all the others are just incredibly safe. Doesn't matter how many times he does. As long as he doesn't fully complete, he will be safe. So punishing this move is a bit random. You kind of just want to guard break if you want to get him off you, or take it. I wouldn't mash because he can delay these strings to catch you pressing buttons. So yeah, I think if you don't want to deal with it, guard cancel is the best way to deal with it, because he doesn't have to fully commit. But he can frame trap you on the last hits. Obviously that means he's committing. He doesn't get much out of it unless it's in the corner. So yeah, it really is just a case of just guard cancelling, getting him off you if you don't want to deal with it, or just hold it and then see what he does. These moves are mostly combo filler more than anything, but there's a little bit of nuance to them. Now the ultimate version, I mentioned this version. This is the only version that is plus, so you can continue pressure off it. So if you see this, literally just do an invincible reversal or just block, like, because it is his turn still. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, not much more to say about Southern Cross, to be honest. They're fairly standard moves. Alright, so then we're going to talk about his projectiles. His projectile is very good. He can use it to throw it out the neutral and then run in and then basically get his pressure started. The one you're likely to see the most is the enhanced version. The light version is fairly fast, goes full screen, but you can't run up behind it like you can with the other ones. The medium version is a bit slower, but he can get in on you, but it's not as much frame advantage as the enhanced. The enhanced doesn't go full screen, so you're probably going to see it more about this location, but if you block it, you're going to be blocking it, and he's incredibly plus, and then he can establish a good amount of mix. And then the ultimate version is literally just for plus frames. It doesn't go that far at all, and it's not very good at destroying projectiles, so the one you're going to be dealing with the most is this one. Now, if he does this in your face, you can't let him get away with it. This move, like some Lancelots I see, they'll be basically putting it in your face, then getting plus 40, like plus frames and mixing you up. All three of these versions can be punished with a heavy attack, and I'll show you that now. So if you run in, do the light version, the medium version, and then the heavy version. Do not let him get away with this. You can get a heavy punish on him if he does this in your face. So if you can get him to stop doing this in your face, that's like a good chunk of like plus frames that he can't take place on you, basically. So after that, you only need to worry about it at full screen, which I'll get into now. This move is a bit different from like other projectiles. Crossing over it and evading it are possible, but because he can move around so easily with it, it's not really advised to be like evading and crossing over, because he can just run in and punish you. Obviously also you don't really want to jump over this move because he can anti-air you if you're trying, because obviously he can move so quick, especially after the enhanced version. So the way we have to deal with it is by using other projectiles and basically moves that are anti-zoning. They're the best ways to kind of deal with it, and you kind of have to read it a little bit, but I'll show you examples of many different characters that I find that can do it now. So the first character I'm going to show is Gran, standard Gran. This is the punish that everyone with a projectile can kind of do. So this is if he is coming in behind it, trying to 6-6L you. Obviously you don't have to, you can use an ultimate attack. Ultimate attacks are great because they just blow through it completely. So it has to be a bit of a read. But this is like the two best ways, like if your character doesn't have like mass anti-zoning, like you kind of want to just rely on using the enhanced, because it's only an enhanced move, so you can just counter with another enhanced move. Now, equally, if he's running in and then trying to jump in on you instead of just tagging that way, you just need to anti-air. That's the only difference. So yeah, that's literally one example, but there are loads of other examples of characters that can deal with this move really easily. So we've got Zeta. Zeta can just destroy it. It doesn't even have to be a move, it could be like a move like Sora's armored move. You can just blow straight through this, you don't have to deal with it. Belia can deal with it. It's another way of dealing with it. Avatar Bilal is another one who can deal with it. Silius is a great example. Just completely destroy it. Obviously 2B has now got the best anti-move in the entire game. So you can literally just do that. And finally, I just wanted to show this one because I thought it was really funny. The sheep destroy it as well. So essentially, just see what your character can do and how they can do it. Obviously, not every character in the game has a way of dealing with like enhanced moves. See, the sheep don't do it then, so you'll have to rely on this one. Unless this one does it. No, didn't think. Well, maybe it will actually. Let me just try it. That's the enhanced version. Yeah, it is the way. So she has to rely on that. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is you kind of have to figure out how your character can kind of deal with it. Every character in the game will have an answer to this one way or another. Sometimes they do cost 50 meter, which is a bit of a shame. But you kind of just want to like find out how to destroy it, because destroying the projectile should be the answer. Now, if you don't have a projectile, my advice would literally be to like kind of like jump back, because the move doesn't go full screen. So you kind of want to like clip him as he's like coming in. See, it's like kind of tricky to do. This is like kind of like the best to do. Just try and get away from it, like I said, or like I would try like maybe try go over it that way. Just just try your best. If he's coming in the air, like try and tag him. But yeah, so they're the ways you kind of deal with this move. It is a very, very good move. So these are the best ways to kind of like tackle it. Alright, so that does it for this guide. Lancelot is a strong character, but after labbing him all this time, I'm feeling a little bit more confident with the matchup, so I hope you do too. But yeah, no, the next characters I'll look at will be 2B and Grimnir. I think they're appropriate, lesser known, and 2B's quite new. So it'd be good to learn how to deal with it. But anyway, yeah, until then, take care, swines.